Hello, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome to session number 20 of the Athenaeum Tabletop campaign. It is the final countdown because this is the third from the last. We're down to our last 3 sessions, which is very exciting as we wrap up a whole bunch of loose ends. But the very first thing we're going to do is the warm-up question. And because we're nearing the end of things, I just had some curiosity. Is there anything that you wish that we had addressed or you wish that we had gotten to that we probably won't be able to get to over the next 3 sessions?
It's not like a huge thing, but I just wish when we were in Black Powder's world that we'd all had a bit more time to interact with the crew and Jim before the whole mutiny thing happened, so that everyone else could get to know that crew as well.
I was going to say on that note for mine, I think the only thing I can think of is I would have liked to see Black Powder and Redcap interact, especially with kind of what was happening at that point in the story when we left. So it would have been cool to see the two of them confront each other.
If we had time to dive onto something different, I would have liked to see twofold. One is Frankie interacting with the crew on Black Powders, because I can see Frankie being kind of that go-to that a lot of them would have gone to for, I've got this shit assignment. I don't want to do it. Frankie's big, he's tough, he's strong. He doesn't know any better. I'm going to give it to him. I think that could have been a lot of fun to explore. And then in the same realm, Star and Tori kind of tormenting a little bit with the crew. I can see Tori being kind of that dissident bored aspect, Star coming to cheer it up, and so doing all kinds of pranks, haunting the ship. I think those 2 aspects could have been pretty cool.
I wish I would have seen more of Black Powder's world. Yes. The sailing, the exploration part of it, maybe seeing a different island. I would have loved to see a mixture, since it is a seafaring type of adventure. I would have loved to have seen a different location. And perhaps some of those scenes could have played out in that journey to these other locations. I would have wanted to see more of Black Powder's world.
I would have really liked to see a lot of Black Powder as the chef and being mischievous, seeing how the depths of his deception, although we got a taste of it in the intro, but seeing more interactions with Jim and Black Powder, I would have really liked to see a lot of that. And also I'm with Joe on the Tori being a ghost and seeing the crew freak out at her and just start being mischievous. I thought that would be a lot of fun. And now thinking about the whole Frankie thing, I could see Frankie doing all these tasks and Reginald be like, Frankie, what you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm helping the crew. And it's it's like, guys, don't take advantage of him. I would have loved that so freaking much. So yeah, I would say, yeah, Black Powder's world is some stuff I would have really liked to see. And just, Black Powder being the villainous bad guy, even though we got a taste of it, I would have liked to see more.
So when we last left off, you all were doing your very epic, very slow-mo walk with the explosion behind you, but not really with an explosion. But you are leaving Pio's tool shed, with a whole bunch of random jumpsuits and devices in tow. And I believe you're about to jump into the minivan and make your way to Maldivere Manor.
Sam will drive.
Do you have your license?
Well, maybe not for this car, but it's twice as easy as mine because there's no clutch.
Oh yeah, everything's automatic here, Sam.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
There's even electric cars and fuel-efficient vehicles.
These jumpsuits are so dusty, Carmen says. I wish I had more time to work with these, or at least take them to the dry cleaners or something.
Yeah, they're full of this goo and stuff. It's smells nasty too.
See, that's why it's so important to protect you from that.
Yeah, I see that.
Sorry, how did it go with Pio?
I left him gasping for breath and near death, so he's all good.
Oh, you tried to kill my ex?
No, I just knocked him out. Trust me, if I wanted to kill him, he'd be dead.
Well, he kind of deserves that, so thank you.
You made it look so easy.
It is. He's a stick.
I guess Fee turns to Sam and says, "Didn't B say that was illegal?"
Yeah, the pros are black powder's a pro, so in some aspects it's good that there's a big difference between black powder and Reggie and Reginald. So luckily we're a little within the law. I'm pretty sure.
Plus, my ex is a major douchebag. Just...
Truth. She speaks the truth.
Listen, all I know is Regina danced that fine line right in the middle between legal and illegal. I'm just saying, I got front row seats.
Whoa.
And then I pushed him, and then, we almost killed him.
You will eventually make it over to the Maldivere Manor. And of course, by the time you get there, it's fully nighttime. And the house itself looms ahead of you. There's a fog that has sort of come into that part of the town. And you do see it looks like it's completely dark in the inside. And you just have this feeling of... There's an ominous feeling in the air. The temperature feels like it has dropped considerably, unusually cold, considering the summer weather. You can almost just barely seeing your breath, because the air has definitely gotten more crisp, at least within the vicinity of this manor.
Well, gang, ready to hop on in?
So I'm assuming we're all just stepping out of the car, just looking fly as hell in our new outfits. Frankie has his shades on, even though it's nighttime still, because you gotta wear shades. Outfit's super tight, and it's because it's cold, his little nipples are showing.
Okay.
So we got that gun part, and he's just hanging out, it reminds me of, remember in Aliens, the girl that had the big gun?
Vasquez.
He has the big version of it for some reason. He picked the big one.
Without knowing any of the science involved, we can just call it a neutron pack, I guess, in this version. Neutron pack. So
Frankie has the big one, the big version. It must have been a prototype of some sort.
Carmen steps out, and she also is looking very fabulous. And she's, she looks at her outfit approvingly, and she kind of takes the neutron pack gun and just puts it over her shoulder, and she says, "So, about this whole phantom bashing thing, is this are we paid by the hour, or did they just give us an upfront fee at the end?"
We're not getting paid for this, Carmen.
But, just how are we supposed to cover all of the, essentials, our costuming and our coffee afterwards, shawarma? I'm feeling shawarma after this.
I can go for food.
I hate to say it, but we're just doing this out of the goodness of our hearts, Carmen.
Oh, come to think of it, we've been doing everything, Sam, pro bono.
Well, I still want shawarma after this.
I'm down.
So, are we just gonna go up to the door and, I don't know, bust it open? What's the plan here? Should we go through the back?
I mean, last time we went here, we kind of just waltzed on in, but I don't know, you guys. Do you think that's the best plan given what happened last time?
Well, we know that Scruffy and his entire gang is in there.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's not a good idea to split up. And we know last time you went in the front door and things didn't go out great. So I would say we stick together and go around to the back.
All right. We'll try to sneak in through the back.
Well, you will make your way towards the back, and for those of you who are able to hear, you start hearing. At first, you're not really sure if it's voices or not, but then you realize it's some sort of tune, and subtly, like, music seems to be coming from nowhere. It's basically that very typical 70s Scooby-Doo background music that's like dun 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 dun. Like if you're sneaking, when you're sneaking around, there's a little sound bit of sneaking music, and Veed just kind of comments, "This feels very appropriate for some reason."
It feels natural.
You'll make your way around the back finally. This is where the fog has gotten a lot thicker, to the point that, you can still see in front of you, but probably not beyond 8 feet in front of you. But the biggest thing that catches your eye is that there does seem to be the door to a cellar. Like on the ground that people normally go into. And there does seem to be a back door as well. That one is completely boarded up. So in terms of going into the house, those are the two main entryways that you can see from the back. The backyard itself is very unkept, and there's brambles and weeds everywhere. There does seem to be what used to be a bit of a topiary garden, and maybe at the time it looked like a menagerie of animals, but now they're sort of look like deformed, silhouettes of more monstrous looking things since then. And then the only other thing back here appears to be some sort of, probably what used to be a nice pond, like man-made pond, but it's very much not maintained, and probably is kind of disgusting, to be perfectly honest. Don't really know what's swimming in there right now, but...
Well, looks like we got a boarded up back door at the cellar. Tough choice.
Do you have a key?
Oh, no.
Do you want me to open it?
Oh, yeah, you want to rip open the boards? We could do that.
Will that be noisy?
I didn't say I was gonna be sneaking. You said to be sneaking. I said me sneaking is not a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I bet the ghost can hear everything anyway, so maybe we don't need to sneak around.
Did anybody decide to bring a crowbar from the shed?
Who needs a crowbar when we have a Frankie?
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, but I thought Frankie's not particularly strong in this world.
I'm okay. I could try.
Would you like a hand, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm gonna need help.
I'll help you.
The jock comes up.
Save the day.
Yeah, well, why don't we check the cellar door?
Let's check the
Let's check
cellar.
it.
I'm just gonna go and just tug on the cellar door to see if it's locked or see if there's a chain or anything.
Yeah, you'll get to the cellar door, and there does seem to be a chain, but it's a rusted chain, so probably not gonna hold very well, honestly.
Could probably break this.
Yeah, are you going to attempt to break it?
Yeah.
Okay. How? With your bare hands or something?
Are there any tools in the backyard that we can leverage, like a hoe, a shovel, an axe?
Great question. Go ahead and roll a perception search.
Come on, Sam, look for us too. Sam, look. Okay, I have search. Let's see if my search can get us there. I'm too busy making sure I still look cute. But I'm hoping Sam is still
Sam
the
is
smarty
very
pants.
perceptive. He must be looking around for tools right
He's
now.
got to be looking for tools. Everyone else could look for tools too. It's not just.
That's a great idea, Frankie.
So yeah, you'll be able to find. I would say you'd find a hoe, and I think it's appropriate for a second hoe. You find.
Shots fired.
Yeah, so I feel like Sam will find a second one, and you can use.
I resemble that remark.
Resemble that remark.
When they bring it over the tool, he'll basically use it as a lever kind of mechanism, hook it into the chain and push down so that it can pop up.
I will say that as the jock, you don't have to roll. You can just easily break open the chain, and it appears that you should be able to open the cellar door pretty easily.
I'm gonna hold on to the hoe though, because it might be useful as a weapon.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Definitely. If you open the cellar door, again, you can immediately smell some must. Maybe it's a bit moldy. And then there is a relatively rickety ladder that leads down to the bottom of the cellar. And from your vantage point, you can't really see too much, but it looks like it's essentially the basement of the house. So
The ladder and then looking over at Frankie. Does it look like it'd be like he's the biggest one here? Does it look like it'd be sturdy enough to hold him going down too?
Yeah, I'll
But
float
I'm also
on
kind of
down
scared
with
of you
whoever
guys.
wants to go.
Remember last time when I was in the back,
Stay behind Tori.
we kind of split up.
I'll go down with Tori then.
Yeah, what is our Scooty Poo marching order?
Tori will take the lead.
I vote Sam in the back to make sure nobody wanders off.
Yes.
Good idea. Good strategy. Different than last time. Maybe Frankie's in the middle. Good
We
point
can
of view
start
for
in the middle
everyone.
so we can keep an eye on them.
sure. You will go down the ladder. Whoever's going down the ladder first, if that's going to be Reggie, then who's going down first. Roll me a balance. I feel like it would be balance.
No.
Okay. So the
Oh
ladder.
wait, hold on. My dex changes because of my leg. I don't have my peg leg here.
Yes. So.
I would succeed.
And you're a
Because the peg
jock,
leg's like
too.
And I'm the.
Don't
I
you get a
got-
bonus?
that
Don't
affected
you get a
strength.
bonus?
That's
Yeah,
for
jock
strength.
affects strength, not so much
But like,
dex.
without my peg leg removes like 4 to my dex.
Then you're
So,
fine.
like I should be good.
Then you're fine. Yeah, so you'll just notice that the ladder itself is not crazy stable. It probably could break at any point, but because it kind of shakes a little bit. However, you manage to get down to the ground. You manage to get yourself down to the ground. Fine.
Okay. Roughly how deep did it end up being?
I mean, it's a standard basement, so I mean, how deep? Like what? A standard height of any other room is like what? What's the standard? 12 feet? 12 feet tall? I don't know.
Yeah, 12.
Ish.
Yeah, 12
Yeah,
feet ish.
10 to 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just kind of go like call up softly, like almost stage whispering. Be careful on your way down. It's a bit unstable.
I will ask every single person to just roll me a dex and just let me know if anyone fails. That's really all
I'm
it
just
is.
floating on down, right? I
Then
need
you don't have to to roll anything. Meanwhile, while everybody's rolling their decks, so you'll find yourself in a very large room. It's too dark for you to see exactly how large, but in your immediate surroundings, there are some very old shelves, all of which contain a bunch of jars of something. If you examine what the jars are, they are jars of honey.
Winnie the Pooh down here? The hell?
Oh my god, Tori, look. It's honey. I've never been so scared of honey in my life.
Yeah.
Love honey.
Why are you scared of honey?
You.
So there was this video you, and let's just say I can't look at the stuff the same way again after that.
I thought it was a great video, but Carmen doesn't have the stomach for that kind of stuff.
I decided to start using maple syrup instead.
Makes
That can
sense?
take you several ways. But okay.
Honey can be so sexy
It was
in the right
used-
context.
Well
Yeah.
done, Frank. Well done.
This was more used for torture.
Okay. That makes sense then.
That could also be sexy in the right context.
This was not sexy, Frankie, I promise you.
All right, guys, we need to focus at the task at hand. So we're down in a creepy basement with a bunch of creepy jars of demonic substances, she says, pointing at the honey. You do realize that honey is actually bee barf, bee puke.
As Frankie's tasting it, as she says that. Frankie's already like,
I mean, it's good. I mean, it tastes good. It tastes sweet.
It's really good. I never thought of that.
I was just gonna ask, who has the flashlight?
I gave it to Carmen last.
Okay, well, Carmen probably still has a flashlight. Veed will probably say, and also, honey essentially never spoils and virtually lasts forever. That does seem pretty demonic to me.
Really good. So bees are demons. Good to know.
Sam can pretty much concur. They actually found like jars of honey in like mummy tombs or like Egyptian tombs, and they're still perfectly fine. That's an actual fact. Honey does not spoil, almost ever.
I've like never had honey, so I wouldn't know any of this stuff.
Honey's so good. That's all I eat instead of syrup.
Veed will take a jar, maybe take this back to the library, and he puts it into his stash.
So weird, because this honey, it was like used for torture in this video, so maybe if the
Veed puts it
honey is here. Exactly, Veed. So she looks at Carmen and she's like, what if this video was real?
Well,
What
I
we
mean,
saw?
that pond over there looks very familiar.
Yes.
Frankie's still eating the honey.
Frankie like Winnie the Poohing it.
Black Powder's gonna confiscate it from Frankie.
Jeez.
And I think just because it's fitting, like if you do look at Frankie, I don't know how many of you watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but there was this bit where I think the character's name was Andrew, and he was doing sort of like a documentary, like he had like an old video camera, and he was just recording a day in the life with Buffy the Vampire Slayers, and it happened to be like Buffy plus I think Faith was there too, or some of the other. It was when there were a bunch of multiple like girls hanging out at the house, and there was this moment where they're just simply pouring cereal, just a normal mundane of pouring cereal, but the way that they edited it in the video, it was just really sexy, and like their hair was like going back and forth. So basically I'm seeing, when you're looking at Frankie, just by default, like it's like slow motion. You could kind of hear like saxophone music playing in the background. You like the screen is filtered with like this pink aura like surrounding him.
Exactly it. That's exactly it.
The bugs are really gonna like you, Frankie, if you keep eating that.
Oh, it brings all the boys to the yard.
I do take it away from Frankie.
Aw.
Hey, then you can have it back later.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like maybe we should use the flashlight to look around the room some more, Carmen.
That's actually what she's doing. So she's
Oh,
kind of
cool.
shining the light around. You're getting a feel for the there's just rows and rows and rows of shelves. Now they don't all have honey in them. It's just a lot of junk and random odds and ends. Nothing in particular like would catch your eye necessarily, but because there's so many shelves here, you can't really see the full room from where you're standing. You kind of have to maneuver your way around. And you can't even find like a staircase or anything yet. That's probably at another part of the basement.
So maybe we should dive a little deeper into the basement, like last time.
Oh, you know I'm all about going deeper, so deep and deep and deep.
Between this session and last, I cannot imagine Tori's World is the most raunchy out of all of them.
Right.
You invited the hoe. You invited the slut. Like, come on. I am the cheerleading slut. Come on.
All right. There's plenty of people who can actually do so. Keep an ear out in case anything comes, because I won't be able to notice.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be your ears. So Tori will take the lead and walk around some of the shelves to see if there's like another doorway or a hallway to lead to somewhere else.
Yeah, roll a spot for me, please.
Just
Or
like that.
hearing.
Okay.
Spot or hearing, whichever one you want to use.
One roll.
9 out of 12.
Okay. So you will see some activity actually in one part of the basement as you kind of float around. I'm gonna say that there will be this. You'll see this glowing aura at one part of the room, and you'll essentially see another creature, ghost-looking creature, with its back to you, and the ghost-looking creature seems to be rummaging through like some of the junk on the shelves. The only thing about this specific creature is it doesn't seem to have a head. It's like a headless creature and just like rummaging through. It hasn't seemed to notice you yet.
Guys, there's a ghost.
Should we use the thingamabobs that we got from that basement?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just leave
it's
it.
friendly.
It doesn't have a head, Tori.
Right? It still could be friendly.
But we couldn't talk to it. It has no ears or mouth.
Maybe it'll try to take
From my
your
experience,
head.
Tori, you're the only nice ghost I've ever known. So,
All right. So we should use our, what are these called? Neuron guns.
Neutron packs.
Neutron packs. Let's use our
prep
neutron
trap.
packs.
Don't cross the
Turn them
streams.
on. How do you turn them on?
Just the switch right on the back. Here, let me do it for you. And I'll turn Frankie's on. And anybody else who doesn't have theirs on.
I strategically move around so that we don't cross the streams. That's what Sam said.
Yeah, I'll
And
prep a
he's-
trap up. As soon as somebody hits it with the stream, then I'll put a trap out to try to catch it.
Do we go on 3 or after 3?
No, it's like on 3. 1,
On 3.
2,
3.
But before we shoot, Tori, I think you should get back.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get in the way of the streams, so she'll back up a little bit.
Is anyone approaching the ghost? Because if you are, I will ask you to do a stealth if you're approaching it.
well, I was gonna say if you want, I could get its attention. That way, the rest of you can get into place. Just in case, sneaking fails.
as long as you don't think it'll possess you.
I think you faced worse than it possessed me.
Right.
I think.
Maybe we just hit you with the streams too then.
Maybe. But that way the rest of you have a chance of actually getting into a good position. So I'll let them start scattering and then I'll just kind of approach.
Sure.
Not trying to be quiet because I want to get its attention.
Sure. You'll approach. The being pauses for a moment as you believe somehow, even though it has a head, somehow it realizes something's there. And then it whisks around and again, even though it doesn't have a head, it seems to at least sense that there's a presence in front of it. and it's the way that the creature is dressed. Definitely from a much older time, but maybe a time that you're more familiar with.
Marty?
Is that you? Oh. Actually, I'll make this a little bit interesting. Actually, here's a question. Has Black Powder ever decapitated anyone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say however you want to take this story-wise. For whatever reason, like based on how this being is dressed and its stature and build, it looks uncannily like a person that you still remember, who you decapitated back in the day. Some uncannily like that same person.
Okay.
And I don't know how that would affect you or not, or how you want it to affect you, but.
Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna kind of tilt her head for a moment. It's like, well, if it isn't the old Admiral, wasn't expecting to see you here.
The admiral, the one who's dressed up in an admiral outfit, immediately grabs like what appears to be like a jar of rusty nails, and then starts to chuck it at you. You'll have to dodge that, so just roll the dodge. Unless you do something else, you can parry. You can also parry, whatever you want to do, to defend yourself against this rusty nail grenade, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely parrying it's way better than my dodge.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You will be able to parry. The glass will actually fall and shatter at another part of the room. And you definitely have it distracted. So whatever this being is, it seems to not like the fact that you're in front of it. So you're just going to grab random things from the shelf and just try to toss them at you. And you're just going to try to parry. Meanwhile, while it's being distracted, what's happening?
Frankie is stealthing around. I just barely made my roll. And he is waiting for the sign.
And I'm stealthing the other way. I haven't rolled yet. Ooh, I just...
We're the same.
Jeez, you guys.
That proton pack, or that neutron pack is heavy.
It is. It's not cute.
There you go, Micah.
Okay. I don't think it's noticed you. So now, what do you do?
We'll zap it.
Yeah, you'll go ahead and zap it. Roll me a science roll or device roll.
I know base. Ooh, I just barely make this in.
Cool, the slut makes it, and you will be able to hit the ghost right directly into its chest. It starts to, resist and tries to struggle out of it, but I think you have a very good hold of it, and then what happens?
So I want to get the trap under it, and if Micah shoots it as well to anchor it, get the trap, slide it out as close to under it as I can and hit the button.
Okay. You will put the trap right underneath it, hit the button, and it'll suck it inside the trap. The trap will close. It'll do the little Pokeball thing, and then click. You've captured whatever that headless thing was. Headless animal. There we go.
Add it to the Pokedex.
Yeah.
Regina, you knew that thing?
Oh yeah. Old acquaintance, you might say.
What? Old acquaintance in Maldivere Manor? That's strange.
I may be the reason why he was headless.
I mean, is this the place where we all go to die?
I hope not. It's very drab.
Yeah,
No
I don't want to
offense,
die here.
I mean, not where we go to die, but I guess where we come when we die, after we die. This is all
Not
too
where I'm going.
complicated.
This is the afterlife. Sign me out.
Well, at least there's a lot of honey.
Well, I have a theory. It says, remember what Dan the Man said? He kind of just pulled things randomly into his book. So he strikes me as somebody who cuts a lot of corners. So maybe he, I don't know, duplicated characters across different stories?
I mean, for all we know, because at this point we're writing the story ourselves, right? Maybe there's just some bleed over.
Subconscious even. Not really sure how this works, but
Wow.
try to make sense of it.
But I can see Dandaman being lazy as hell.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
I just hope there aren't a bunch of ghosts from my world, because that would suck.
Or mine.
Sam, so what are you doing at this moment? I'm curious.
Definitely trying to get the trap squared away so that it doesn't get like opened or activated anything, and looking around.
Yeah, Sam, you're figuring out the trap, making sure it's fine. You're looking around, and you'll turn in a specific direction just in time to see and hear this thing coming at you at very, very, very fast speed. You were, I know that you were trying to pay attention to what's going on, but I know that you were also focused on the trap. So you didn't actually see this until the last minute. This floating head of an admiral comes right at you and then goes right into your head.
Oh no.
So here's the trick. You still have use of the rest of your limbs and your body, but your head is possessed. Can you give me some context, Thistle? Why did you decapitate the admiral? What's the reason why the admiral had beef with you, or vice versa?
Oh, he's an admiral in the Navy, and I was a pirate. He was trying to capture and kill us.
Okay.
And he refused to join the crew, so the next result was kill.
Okay. Sam, given that context, the Admiral has control of your head, which means some of your brain, and certainly your mouth, and it's probably not very happy with Regina. Somehow he knows this is the same black powder. I don't know how, but somehow it does, and he ain't too happy. What does Sam do?
Well, I think after standing up and the old sea dog, even after all this time, I see you're still nothing but a disguised, no good urchin of a creature.
Black Powder's not looking at him, so he has no idea what he's saying.
I also have this feeling that since technically Sam still has the control of the rest of his body, he's probably like doing this.
I just want to know, did anyone else notice what happened to him?
Yeah, I'll say everyone else other than Black Powder can notice, because Sam's really acting very strange.
Oh god, he's possessed. What if I try to go in there too and fight the Admiral out of his head?
Frankie grabs Regina's face and turns it to face the Admiral's like, look.
I'll say that there'll be a visual cue. I'll say that there's a glowing aura around Sam's head, and I mean, I'm assuming the Admiral's still going to be yelling at Black Powder, so you can start reading his lips. Maybe there's some spit. Maybe he's spitting as he's talking because he's just so angry and upset. Because remember, you're a tortured soul, and this is this person's fault why you're living the rest of your non-existence here in this existence. Sorry, existence.
You may have avoided the wrath of me and my crew. You may have been able to skirt your way around the high courts, but justice will be seen, and I will be there to watch you swing from a gallows.
It's been, 5 years since then, and in this world, a couple hundred? And you're still being a blowhard. Get
Justice
a life.
Knows no bounds of time.
Justice is a construct. If I was the one in charge, then you would be the criminal.
Well, lucky for us, the Queen sets the rules, and you will be punished for breaking those rules.
Good luck with that.
You thought with her. Seize him. She is him, and must meet justice.
Nah, sorry, dude.
Listen, I don't say this very much, but you're gonna have to get out.
Get out, or I will make you get out.
You're gonna have to pull out.
So Admiral will say, here's the thing. Like, I'm sure the Admiral really wants to maybe even physically lunge at Black Powder, but because he doesn't have control of your body, you're like, I can't, because Sam's still in control. So it's just really hilarious. The head really wants to like maybe take a chomp at you, but it's just Sam's still like.
Okay, I have to do this because even Admirals did it. It was like, are you just mad that I remind you of an old lass from your time right now? Which brothel did you find her in? Lot of redheads. What are you really all frustrated about?
By the Queen's command, the seas must be kept safe for passage, crew, and all belongings to the court and the Queen's throne. You skirted all the laws. You are despicable, without honor, and took my head. Trying to lunge again, just not able to do anything.
You say the sea should be safe for everyone, but you're the one making it unsafe for me. I was just sailing. You're the ones who came causing problems.
Had you followed the Queen's laws, there would have been no troubles.
If the Queen's laws had allowed the poor to eat.
Carmen kind of leans in to Star, and she says, I have no idea what Sam's saying right now, but this roleplay is kind of hot, she says.
Oh, so they're role-playing. This entire time, I thought Sam was possessed. This makes so much more sense now. Thank you.
I don't know, that accent on Sam kind of makes him really even hotter than before.
Star, did you just think our two dads were fighting? That's not too unusual.
I did, actually. Am I missing something?
Always.
He's possessed. And yes, always.
Yeah, Black Powder's actually gonna be like approaching
Sure,
Sam.
you can.
After taking as much time as I was gifted, surrendering my whole existence to finding justice, that one day, I would be in front of you to make sure you pay for your crimes.
Except you can't. You're dead. You don't
As
have a
you will
purpose
be.
here anymore. You don't have a reason to be here. You're just as useless in death as you were in life.
Now the Queen would disagree. Even
The
though it's
Queen's dead.
taken time, I've found you. I've
Queen is
found
dead.
you.
Buddy, the Queen's dead now. You're in an entirely different century. There's different rules. There's different laws.
Well, the Queen obviously had children, which means perhaps there's even a king.
Possibly, but at this point, I've pretty much outrun the statute of limitations. So you can't arrest me anyways.
I don't recognize that authority. I will stick by my...
Oh, if you don't
Mandate.
recognize that authority, then there's no authority for you to turn me into.
You lot there, if you support this scoundrel, you'll be branded pirates as well. You'll also hang from the gallows.
I don't know if this is funny or cute.
Listen, I love booty just as the next girl, but you're gonna have to let this go, Admiral.
Veed turns to the group. He still has his neutron pack, and he has it aimed at Sam, but then he's like, do we shoot Sam, or would that be bad to shoot Sam?
Well,
Probably
where do we
not
shoot
to
the
test
head?
that.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
That might hurt Sam.
Yeah, we don't do
Look.
that.
Admiral, just face it. All you're doing now is encroaching upon the innocent of another person. a lawmaker, someone else who wants to enforce the law like you. That's who you're possessing right now. So, what you're doing is useless and pointless. Why don't you let him go, and you can move on? Don't you think it's about time?
My last mandate was to see you hung, tried, and hung. Hung. The trial was not as important. Everyone knew you were guilty.
Keep saying hung. It's like,
I know, I was looking at Alex the whole time. Like, I'm sure the slut is thinking of something else.
keep
Are
saying
you
hung. You got my
a
attention.
religious man, Admiral?
Of course I am.
Doesn't the Bible say that those who have turned from God are those who will remain on earth as wandering spirits?
It also says thou shalt not kill.
You killed. If I recall, you took down about 5 of me crew.
Well, that was on behalf of the queen. That's above
Still
me.
says you shouldn't kill. Is the queen above God? Are you? You can sit there and preach as much as you want, but you're just as much of a sinner as I am.
Amen. They're more of a guideline.
I was justified in my decree. You know it's true. That's why you ran. That's why you took my head.
Was Pontius Pilate justified in his crucifixion of Christ?
He washed his hands.
You're angry? I get it. You had a job to do and you couldn't do it adequately. It happens to everyone. You just happen to have the bad luck of running into me. And I was very good at my job. So, why don't you move on? And maybe you'll get another chance in another life. Go on. Is it really worth sticking around when you literally can't do anything about it?
I will keep my mantle as long as I can to spread the word.
No one's gonna believe you. They think you're a raving lunatic.
Unchivalrous sea dog, aptly named Black Powder, because as you support this creature, it will explode in all of your faces.
Enough is enough. Stop. So Frankie rips like part of his outfit and creates this midriff and starts to like wrap part of that shirt around Sam's mouth. Like, enough of this. Shut him up. Somebody, can we do like a exorcism or something?
Corey, do you want to try?
Throw me in there, coach. Yeah. She will look at Sam / the Admiral and be like, all right, bye, Felicia, and we'll try to get him out of his head.
Yeah, so cool. So you're going to try to possess Sam's body, which... And you have to do that in order to attempt to eject the other person out of his body. So go ahead and roll your... Yep. Okay, you roll your Mitchell magic. So you can feel like a bit of a opposed supernatural wits, or whatever you want to call it, willing the other person out. And I would say, based on the conversation that Black Powder was having with the Admiral this whole time, that probably has weakened his will significantly, and you will be able to eject this ghostly-looking head out of his face. At which point, who wants to do the honors of shooting it and putting it in the trap? Who wants? All right,
I will.
Regina.
It's only suiting.
Regina. I mean, if you want to describe it, but.
I mean, it's very much done in the way of like, I am bored with this kind of a mood.
Like,
and she just like will hold it in place with the stasis until there's a trap ready. And
right. Cool.
Keep maybe the head and the body separate, just to be safe. But
yeah, you'll be able to do that, and technically, you have control of Sam's body right now.
Oh, deja vu. I will. After I've seen that the Admiral has left Sam's head, I will get out of Sam's head.
That's fine. Well, before that happens, in the split moment that you're still inside Sam's body, with the head out of his body, I kind of see you and Sam like in the same headspace, like So I don't know if there's an exchange between the two of you before you leave.
Oh. I will quickly check in on Sam and just say, hey, you okay there?
Definitely a odd experience that I didn't enjoy, but in some ways it was super fascinating just because I've never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah. Getting possessed isn't really fun, so that's kind of what I'm doing to you right now. But just watch out for more ghosts, because this might happen again.
Well, thanks for clearing my head. I'm gonna have to give you a nickname of Claritin, maybe.
Claritin. Really?
Gotta try.
All right, so from there she'll exit Sam's head, and he should be back to normal, hopefully.
Once the ghost is put away, Reginald or Regina will go up and untie the thing around Sam's mouth.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about
Better?
that.
No, it's okay. That was a pretty chattery thing. I suppose that there's lots of annoyance with someone who's got 500 years catch up to do. So,
But are you doing better now?
oh yeah, I'm good. I just not having that is going to be even better. So,
All right. She'll pat his
Yeah.
cheek and then do that thing, I'm sure, Joe, that you've had to do where people flick your glasses so they go askew.
yeah, doing better. Let's press on because I'm ready to just move on.
Sounds good, she says, and she'll just give your shoulder a friendly squeeze. You all will search around the basement, and finally Carmen has the flashlight, and it'll shine at the bottom of a staircase. And she says, "Hey guys, I think I might have found a way out of the basement, but it'll probably take us to the rest of the creepy house." You'll go up the staircase. Every other step will creak as you make your way up. You'll reach a door that is not locked, so you'll open it, and it'll take you... Well, before you open the door, you will hear music from the other side of it. It sounds like ballroom music. And if you... I'm assuming nobody's going to stop anyone from opening the door. You'll open the door maybe just a crack, just to look out, and you will see that it does actually open up into an old, dusty, cobweb-filled ballroom. And you can see movement around the ballroom, but again, because of the light, unless you want to swing the door open and shine the flashlight in, you're not going to see exactly what that movement is, who's making that movement.
I feel it is comical if we're opening the door and we're all like in a column, like our heads are all like
Yes.
peeking
Stacked up.
through, like
Yeah,
all
you all
stacked
can do
up.
that.
We're all like,
And just Tori's head poking through the middle of the door.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can. You certainly can do that. So I'll assume you do that because that's very Scooby-Doo.
it's so
And-
Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
And you'll see that there aren't any ghosts that you can see visibly in the ballroom, but there are like furniture, like couches, love seats, tables, candelabras that are kind of floating around as if they were dancing to the music of the ballroom.
Is someone using telekinesis? Because this is something I would do.
It feels like it seems similar to telekinesis. If anyone wants to roll like an occult roll.
Sure, I'll do that. 12 out of 13.
This kind of behavior feels a little poltergeisty.
This is coming from somewhere else in the house. I don't know. They might be trapped in the house somewhere. In the manor.
What are you talking about? Who's trapped?
The Scooty Poo gang.
Oh, well, yeah. But what's doing all of this stuff?
Like, have you ever seen that movie? Like, oh no, you probably haven't. Like Poltergeist.
No, I never really watched much movies. I was doing a lot more reading. Victor liked to read a lot.
Tori was trying to make me watch it, but I just couldn't sit through it.
Poltergeist, though.
Movie, but I've heard of it.
So pretty much, honey and pea soup are the two main things that I don't eat, thanks to Tori.
Alright, so how do we go about this then? I'd rather not get slammed down by a table. Imagine that would hurt.
Do we see an exit?
Yeah, like you do, but it's like in the other side of the ballroom.
Of course it is.
We'll have to run, but we'll have to be careful because I see a candle in the back. As a matter of fact, its flames are as red as the sun. And the chair in the corner, no one ignore it because it thinks it's the passionate one.
Why are you waxing poetry?
I just love it. I thought Frankie could appreciate.
No, I am. I'm like starting to like fall in love with Sam. Like this is great. Like
You're not the only one. That's pretty cute.
You're a writer too? That's so romantic, Carmen says.
I think we're gonna have to dash through as fast as possible.
Yeah, so dashing, she says.
She's like snapping her fingers in front of Carmen.
Got it. I'm a little slow, but
Alright, but
It's a coping mechanism. This place is scary and creepy.
well, who here's the worst at running? Because we've got to keep an eye on them if we're going to make a dash.
I don't really run.
Okay, and if past experience, I know Sam isn't the best here at least. Star, you feel like you can actually run today?
Oh yeah, I'm a dancer. I'm used to running. Also, running from kidnappers. So I think I'm good.
True.
then
So it looks like we got to keep an eye on Sam and Carmen.
So are we just gonna make a break for it?
Do you have other ideas?
that's the question. Like, where are we running to? Like, do we see another door or
An
somewhere
exit
else?
across the way.
Okay.
The exit it's just an archway. The exit isn't a door. It's just like an archway that you just have to get to. Just note that some of the furniture could probably still pass through the archway. Some of them. All right. Well, I guess ready whenever you all are.
That's the only thing I can think of, unless you guys want to like try and dance your way across the ballroom.
No.
We
is
could
there
do
a
it!
certain pattern that the furniture is dancing in?
I mean, they're generally like moving in a semicircle position, but other than that, it's waltzy. If that matters to you at all, it's a 3-step 1, 2, 3.
If they're stuck in a loop, we can just kind of move and kind of literally dance with the furniture through them and around them and squeeze right through.
That's actually a good idea. If Star, you said you're a good dancer, what if you attempt it first to see if it reacts with a good dancer? And if it doesn't, then all of us will make a dash for it. If it does, then we'll all try to dance our way across.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Do I have to do a performance?
Yeah, performance dance.
Okay. Yes, and I succeed.
Okay, so you will make your way out, and you're just going to try to like dance your way into the circle. You know, try to like go with the flow and just match the way that the furniture is moving, which is a little odd because you've probably danced with many people but not so much furniture. But yeah, with that roll, it doesn't seem like the furniture are disturbed at all. They don't break pattern. They just continue on and just kind of dance with them, and you will easily make it to the end of the arch, to the archway, basically.
So one star gets to the other end and starts dancing around and starts humming while doing it. He's like humming the song Milkshake because that's what my boys bring out to the Voice of the Yard. So once he gets to the end, he'll be like, guys, it's okay. Just dance with the furniture. Follow the flow, bro.
Sorry, you don't have to worry about dancing. At least you can probably just float through.
True. So, Regina, do you want to dance first? Or
Sure, it's been years since I've danced. I remember that my dex is higher than normally would be. Oh, even with my improved dex, that is not good.
I was also going to say, you also have your shoes, those dancing shoes that gives you +2 to dance, but that's not going to be enough for this.
Well, 13, 14. Yeah, it's still. I'd be just under.
Just under. So
I could try my luck, but I know that backfires here a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to use your luck, you can use your luck right now.
Nah, because if I need to, I can run pretty easy.
Okay. So Regina is going to attempt to dance with the furniture, but she doesn't seem to quite match the flow, and the furniture seems to be a little disturbed by this, this big couch starts to ram you and kind of slams you across the room into the door. Into the wall. And you'll take 2 points of damage, penetrating. 2 points of penetrating damage from that. And it doesn't seem like it's going to end there. So the furniture is probably going to start to attack you.
Yeah, at that point, because it's been forever since she's danced, she is just going to kind of run towards the archway and try and get out of it.
Okay.
And kind of motion to Star to step aside so he doesn't get hit by anything.
Okay. You will try to make a break for it. Roll a athletics run, which is probably decent for you.
Now it is. Yeah, with my bonuses.
So you'll make a break for it. The furniture is going to go every which way, trying to hit you. Now here's the thing, once you get to the archway, do you stop? Or do you go through the archway? What are you doing?
So I'm gonna make sure Star gets pushed back so he's against the wall, so if anything comes by, it's gonna go right past him. And I'll do the same thing, and if anything does fit through, then I'm gonna move to protect Star.
When Regina does that, Star will be like, we should do cover fire for everyone else.
With what? We don't have our weapons or magic here.
No, and the Star goes, like the neuron pack.
You think those will work on this stuff?
It might.
Or the shot.
Star, roll a perception.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. Hallelujah.
That's pretty high for perception, actually. 14.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is when Regina pushes you back, it'll put you kind of past the archway, so you can see what's going on in the hallway around you. Mm-hmm. So just around the hallway, I would say lined up along the walls of the hallway are 6 suits of full armor. And when you passed into the hallway, all of the helmets of the suits of armor shift towards you, and they then unsheath these long sword blades, and they're gonna start to, they break off of their mount that they're on in the hallway, and they're gonna start rushing towards you with their swords. There's 6 of them. What do you do?